Any sign of William?
No.
Where have you been?
I'm not late, am I?
You're late when I say you're late.
Daisy? Whatever are you doing there? Crouching in the dark.
You weren't here and I didn't like to touch the curtains with my dirty hands.
I'm quite right too. Why didn't you put the lights on?
I daredn't.
Well, it's electricity, not the devil's handiwork. I'll have to get used to it sooner or later.
Skeleton Park have even got it in the kitchens.
What for?
Breakfast is ready, Mr. Carson.
Yeah, William. Any papers yet?
They're late.
They certainly are. Get the board out so you can do them as soon as they're here.
Is the library tidy?
Yes, Mrs. Hughes.
Good. I want the dining room given a proper going over today. You can do it when they've finished their breakfast. Oh, heavens, girl! You're building a fire, not inventing it. How many have you done?
This is my last till they come downstairs.
Very well. Now get back down to the kitchens before anyone sees you.
Morning, Carson. Good morning, my lord.
Is it true what they're saying?
I believe so, my lord.
I'm afraid we'll know some people on it. I don't suppose there are any lists of survivors yet.
I understand most of the ladies were taken off in time.
You mean the ladies in first class? God help the poor devils below decks. On their way to a better life. What a tragedy.
When Anna told me, I thought she must have dreamt it. Do we know anyone on board?
Your mother knows the Astors, at least she knows him. We dined with Lady Rothes last month. There are bound to be others.
I thought it was supposed to be unsinkable.
Every mountain is unclimbable until someone climbs it, so every ship is unsinkable until it sinks.
Good morning, Papa.
Morning. What's that?
Just arrived. Telegram.
Fancy a smoke?
Don't mind if I do. There they go. Guy Fawkes and his assistant.
Which is which?
Here you are.
Surely, if his lordship hasn't done anything until now, means he doesn't want to take it any further.
Anna's made me an armband, Mr. Carson. For my mother. Can I wear it?
I dare say. Not when we're entertaining, but otherwise.
Maybe we should knit something.
Oh, yes. I'm sure they'd love a pair of booties knitted by you.
Or what about a christening mug?
They can buy their own silver.
Anything in the paper, Thomas?
They've arrested this Princip fellow and his gang. All Serbian and members of the Black Hand.
The Black Hand? Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like the sound of any of it. War is on the way.
Then we'll have to face it as bravely as we can.
Thank you, Mr. Cannon Fodder.
Well, don't you think a war's coming?
Oh, there'll be a war, all right. It's time to prepare for it.
The country, do you mean?
No, me.
You never disappoint.
Daisy, run and find Mrs. Patmore. His lordship wants to see her in the library.
His lordship wants Mrs. Patmore to go up to the library.
That is what I said. And Anna, you're to come too.
We thought the assassination of an archduke was a surprise.
Anna, this is for you. And Mr. Barrow, there you are.
Thank you.
What's that? It should be. Yes, it is. A hairdryer for Lady Mary. I sent away for it.
What's the point? Why not just rub it dry with a towel and comb it out?
There's more control with the dryer. You can smooth and shape the hair. I think it'll be useful.
I've never changed my hairstyle. Can I hold it? It's heavy, isn't it?
Lord in heaven. What's that now?
A hairdryer. Lady Mary wanted one.
Yeah, well, in that case.
Mr. Carson, Lady Styles wants me to go on Sunday and start on Monday, unless you need me to work out my notice.
We won't insist on it.
Downton Abbey without Mr. Barrow.
Nothing ungenerous.
Are you really going?
Even good things come to an end?
Well, I don't know if you're a good or a bad thing, Mr. Barrow, but we've all been together a long time.
And on that moving note, I think I'll check the dining room.
I don't think you need to change your hair.
What, are you a fashion expert now?
I say.
What?
Some man has opened a nudist colony at Wickford in Essex. It's called the Manila Group.
What do you mean a man's opened a colony in Essex?
Not that sort of colony, Mama. It's for people who want to take all their clothes off.
In Essex? Isn't it terribly damp?
Would that make a difference?
Well, yes, if you had no clothes on. Well, I think it's a mad idea.
Oh, I doubt they were aiming at a duke.
I wanted to come after Mary told me about the farmer's child you're taking such an interest in. Come to my room when you're changed, why don't you?
How long are you here for?
About a week, if I'm allowed.
Good. We're giving a bash for my deputy lieutenants on Friday. You can stay and help. I'm afraid I'll be away on Thursday night. It's another of my Lord Lute things. I'm guest of honour at a dinner for all the Yorkshire-based commanding officers, so I can't get out of it.
And you're staying the night?
It's down in Sheffield, and it'll be very late, so it seems sensible. You'll just have to make do with Cora, and Edith and Tom and Rose.
What news of your suitor?
I haven't heard from him lately.
Have you decided what answer you're going to give him yet?
Well, I think I should tell him before I tell you. Wouldn't you agree?
Ellen Terry has nothing on you when it comes to stringing out a moment.
So, what did we miss?
Nothing much. Although you'd have had more invitations than I did.
Have you thought about Matthew?
Of course. But Aunt Rosamond
No,
said...
she's written to me I should pay no attention.
But, Granny, she has got a point. Mary can't be completely naive. I don't need your help, thank you.
Mary, listen to me. If you take Matthew now, when his whole future is at risk, he will love you to the end of his days.
Why, Granny, you're a romantic.
I've been called many things, but never that.
And what happens if the baby's a boy and Matthew loses everything?
Mary can always change her mind.
But I can't do that to Matthew. It's not how we are together.
Oh.
No, I'm going upstairs to help Anna unpack.
I'll come with you.
Edith, why don't you go too?
Sir Anthony Strallan was at Lady Wren's party. He asked after you.
Is she really serious about him?
Any port in a storm. Oh, by the way, I was right about my maid. She's leaving to get married. Well, how could you be so selfish?
I do sympathise. Robert's always wanting me to get rid of O'Brien, but I can't face it. Anyway, she's so fond of me.
Well, I thought Simmons was fond of me. What am I to do?
Why don't I put an advertisement in the Lady? It's always the best place to start.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. I really must be going. Now, don't let Mary wait for the baby before she gives Matthew her answer.
I'm sure it's another girl.
I know those men of the moral high ground. If she won't say yes when he might be poor, he won't want her when he will be rich.
Look at him, he can't even balance it.
Oh, leave him alone. Here you go.
It's a flipping insult just because he's 10 foot tall.
You're right.
I've got a good mind to.
Don't do anything you regret.
These things can be managed, but not by losing your temper.
You make a cosy couple, I must say.
I don't think so.
It's not what I've heard. Alfred says he's always going on about you. Silly, sloppy stuff. Alfred's sick and tired of it, and no wonder.
Oh, he's making it up.
Have it your own way.
Yes, she couldn't have been
Of course it's a lot to take in, but I'm sure it's right.
Right. Don't put them like that.
Leap of imagination.
They've got to be able to get hold of them.
Come along. That's why I've asked Murray to come up, so that we can talk it through together.
You've asked Murray to come here without consulting me.
I felt I wasn't explaining things well, and I know he can.
Oh, lovely, what a treat.
Oh, my, your ladyship.
No fuss, no fuss. Just scrape me down and get me a spare napkin.
I'll take that.
I saw your cook in the village today, Isabel. She seemed upset.
Yes. Mrs. Bakewell was rather unkind. It seems a pity that even in this pretty little village, people can be so unforgiving.
Some people are unforgiving, others are insensitive.
What time do you leave in the morning?
I thought I'd get the 10 o'clock. I'm meeting him for tea.
You're not encouraging this.
She hasn't agreed to anything yet.
Mamma, talk to her. Talk to all of them. Say something sensible.
Yes, let's hear how a woman's place is in the home.
I do think a woman's place is eventually in the home, but I see no harm in her having some fun before she gets there.
Oh, Granny, thank you.
Have you changed your pills?
And another thing, I mean, Edith isn't getting any younger. I mean, perhaps she isn't cut out for domestic life.
How are your plans proceeding, Tom?
I was telling Lady Grantham. My brother has a garage in Liverpool. He's asked me to go in with him.
The brother who's coming to stay?
Yes, Kieran.
Why is he coming here?
For the christening.
How did he rearrange the spoons?
I put them right on the edge of my plate, but I'm not saying it was deliberate. I hope you're not, because I was trying to help.
Well, I think Alfred can manage without your help in future, James. And next time, will you wait to be asked before you take charge?
Are you still here?
Perhaps Alfred no longer wants to go to the pictures. He may want to ponder his mistakes instead.
Of course they're going.
Are we?
Yes, you can go. I will not withdraw my permission. But as you walk, you might contemplate what it is to waste a chance when it is given.
I suppose you never wasted a chance.
Well, if I did, I learnt from it, and that's all I'm asking from him.
That and some ritual humiliation.
I'm glad everything's settled with Ethel, but I trust you can find another cook without too much difficulty.
Preferably one with a blameless record, so my house ceases to be a topic of gossip, which is really what this is all about.
If Ethel wants to be part of her son's life, even a little part, who are we to stand in her way?
Of course, if you had had to sell Charlie to the butcher to be chopped up as stew to achieve the same ends, you would have done so.
Well, happily, it was not needed.
Well played, Barrow. Thank you. Excellent innings.
got news, my lady.
Mr. Bromwich is wrong. You've done it, Gwen. You've got the job. Take it.
Something to celebrate?
I got the job, Mrs. Hughes. I'm a secretary. I'm forgotten.
I'm very happy for you, Gwen, and we'll celebrate after we finish today's work.
Of course, Mrs. Hughes.
I don't suppose that...
Lady Sybil. Her ladyship was asking after you. Be careful, my lad, or you'll end up with no job and a broken heart.
What do you mean?
I don't seem to be able to find your sister.
I wonder where she is. Of course, she may have been cornered. I know there was some old bore she was trying to dodge.
Who was that?
I'm not sure. He's simply ghastly, apparently. But he's promised to propose today. I can't tell you how funny she was when she acted it out. She ought to go on the stage.
Really? Oh, how amusing. Well done, Mrs. Hughes. Beautifully executed, as always.
Key is in the planning.
Mr. Carson, this probably isn't the moment, but I've just heard from Dr. Clarkson I've been accepted for a training scheme for the Army Medical Corps.
Have you indeed?
Yes, and I want to do it, so I'll be handing in my notice. I'll serve out the month, of course.
Thank you, Thomas. We can talk about it later.
And you couldn't have planned that any better either.
It'd be hard to let you go. My last link with home.
Not as hard as it is for me.
Branson.
I know I shouldn't say it, but I can't keep it in any longer.
I wish you would.
I've told myself and told myself you're too far above me. But things are changing. When the war is over, the world won't be the same place as it was when it started. And I'll make something of myself, I promise.
I know you will.
Then bet on me. And if your family cast you off, it won't be forever. They'll come around. And until they do, I promise to devote every waking minute to your happiness.
I'm terribly flattered.
Don't say that.
Why not?
Because flattered is a word posh people use when they're getting ready to say no.
That sounds more like you.
Please don't make fun of me. It's cost me all I've got to say these things. Right. I'll go. I'll hand in my notice and I won't be there when you get back.
No, don't do that.
I must. They won't let me stay when they've heard what I said.
They won't hear. Not from me.
You're very late. Don't they worry?
They're all so excited they won't care where I am.
I'm pleased. I like Mr. Matthew.
He announced at dinner that he wants to get married at Downton. Somehow it made me feel more than ever that the war is really over. And it's time to move forward.
Do you mean you've made your decision?
Yes. My answer is that I'm ready to travel. And you're my ticket. To get away from this house, away from this life.
Me?
No, Uncle Tom Cobley.
I'm sorry. But I've waited so long for those words. I can't believe I'm hearing them. You won't mind burning your bridges.
Mind? Fetch me the matches. Yes, you can kiss me. But that is all until everything is settled.
For now, God knows it's enough that I can